What if the only thing holding you back is a story you tell yourself? A story of doubt, of limitation, of waiting for the perfect moment. The world doesn't grant you permission to be great. It simply reflects the permission you grant yourself. Your success isn't waiting in your circumstances. It's waiting in your conviction. Walk into every room not with arrogance, but with the quiet, unshakable certainty of someone who knows their worth. Speak not to be heard, but because you have something to say. This isn't about pretending to be perfect. It's about refusing to be paralyzed by your imperfections. It's about understanding a fundamental truth. Success is not a lottery won by the lucky few. It is a territory claimed by those who decide, with every fiber of their being, that they are worthy of the conquest. 1. Desire, the unquenchable fire. Every monumental achievement, from the smallest invention to the largest empire, begins not with a casual interest, but with a burning desire. This is not a simple wish or a fleeting hope. It is an all-consuming obsession, a need so profound it becomes the organizing principle of your life. The people who reshape the world and achieve legendary success don't just want to win. They feel in their bones that they must. This desire is the high-octane fuel that powers them through the inevitable darkness of failure, rejection, and exhaustion. Consider the story of a single mother living on welfare, scribbling notes in cafes while her baby slept. This was J.K. Rowling. She didn't just hope to write a book. She was possessed by the story of a young wizard. She had a vision so vivid, it demanded to be brought into existence. After being rejected by 12 different publishers, a lesser desire would have flickered and died. A wish would have evaporated. But an obsession? An obsession endures. Her desire wasn't just to be a writer. It was to bring Harry Potter to the world. That burning, non-negotiable need made rejection irrelevant. It was merely an obstacle, not a verdict. So you must ask yourself a raw, honest question. What do you truly desire? Not what you think is practical. Not what your family or society expects of you. What is the one goal that sets your soul ablaze? What vision haunts your waking moments and animates your dreams? What would you pursue even if the world guaranteed you 1,000 failures before a single success? That is your true north. That is your burning desire God wants you have identified. You must give it form. Write it down. Transform the ethereal energy of thought into the concrete reality of ink on paper. This act is a ritual of commitment. It signals to your subconscious mind that this is not a dream. It is a target. Then you must visualize it with ferocious intensity. See your success not as a distant possibility, but as a present reality. Feel the emotions of having already achieved it. This mental rehearsal doesn't just make you feel good. It rewires your brain, conditioning it to recognize and seize the opportunities that will make your vision a reality. But desire and visualization are only the beginning. You must act with the unwavering conviction that your goal is inevitable. Too many people are stranded on the island of someday. Winners build a bridge to now with the materials of action. They don't wait for a sign. They move, and their movement becomes the sign. When your desire is an obsession, your commitment becomes absolute, and the universe conspires to clear a path for the person who simply refuses to be denied. 2. Faith, the certainty of the unseen. What is faith? It is the profound, unshakable belief in yourself when all evidence points to the contrary. It is the bedrock upon which dreams are built. Hard work is essential, but work without faith is like an engine without fuel. It will not move. When doubt whispers, when critics mock, when the odds are overwhelmingly against you, your faith is the silent internal force that propels you forward. Without it, every obstacle is a wall. With it, every wall is a door. Faith is not a passive emotion. It is an active daily choice. You must choose to believe in your vision when you wake up, especially on the days when failure from the day before is still fresh. It's easy to have faith when the path is clear and the sun is shining. But true, unyielding faith is forged in the crucible of adversity, in the moments when surrendering seems like the only logical option. It is in those moments you must stand firm and declare, I am capable. I am worthy. I will see this through. The Wright brothers are a testament to this power. In their time, the very idea of human flight was a joke, a fantasy reserved for myths and madmen. They faced a world of skeptics, including the most respected scientific minds who had proven that mechanical flight was impossible. They had limited funding, no formal engineering education, and operated out of a simple bicycle shop. What did they have? They had faith. They believed in their calculations, in their observations, and in their shared vision with a certainty that bordered on religious fervor. They didn't just hope they could fly, they knew they would. This unwavering belief allowed them to persist through countless failed experiments and dangerous crashes. Their faith was not blind. It was a focused conviction that transformed the impossible into the inevitable. Your mind is the architect of your destiny. If you sow thoughts of inadequacy, you will unconsciously sabotage your efforts. Your actions will be tentative, your decisions weak, and your reality will conform to your low expectations. But if you cultivate an absolute conviction that your success is preordained, your entire being will align with that reality. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the strategic alignment of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It's the development of a core certainty that success is not a question of if, but simply of when. So, what would you do if you knew, with 100% certainty, that you could not fail? How would you walk, talk, and act? Begin doing that now. Act as if you are already the person you want to become. Winners don't wait for the world to validate them. They carry their own validation within. Your belief is a magnet. If you radiate doubt, you will attract reasons to doubt. But if you radiate confidence and absolute certainty, you will draw to you the people, resources, and opportunities that will make your success a self-fulfilling prophecy. No one will believe in you until you believe in yourself. The world is a mirror. Show it a winner, and it will reflect a winner back to you. 3. Autosuggestion. Programming your mind for victory. The greatest champions and titans of industry, from Muhammad Ali to Arnold Schwarzenegger, understood a profound secret. The most important conversations you have are the ones you have with yourself. Your mind is a supercomputer, and your thoughts are the code you write for it. If you feed it a code of fear, doubt, and mediocrity, that is the program it will run. But if you intentionally install a program of confidence, dominance, and inevitable success, your life will be forced to upgrade to match the new software. This is autosuggestion, the deliberate act of programming your own mind. You must become the vigilant guardian of your mental gates. The world will constantly try to infect your mind with negativity, with limitations, with the chorus of you can't. It is your duty to reject this programming and install your own. How? Through conscious, repetitive, and emotionally charged affirmations. When you wake up, before the world has a chance to tell you who you are, you must tell yourself who you are. Stand before the mirror and declare your truth. I am the greatest. I am unstoppable. I am a champion. Muhammad Ali did not become the greatest the day he won the title. He became the greatest the day he started telling himself and the world that he was. He repeated it with such conviction and swagger that he programmed not only his own subconscious mind, but the minds of his opponents as well. His affirmations were not just boasts. They were declarations of a reality he was actively creating. At first, your mind might resist. Years of conditioning will whisper back, "Who are you kidding?" You must ignore that voice. It is the ghost. of your former self. Keep repeating your affirmations. Write them down. Say them aloud. Feel them. Over time, through sheer repetition, your subconscious mind will accept these commands as fact. And when your subconscious believes it, your body and your actions have no choice but to follow. Your thoughts create your emotional state, and your emotions are the fuel for your actions. If you believe you are unstoppable, you will take the risks others are afraid to. If you believe you are destined for greatness, you will persevere through the setbacks that cause others to quit. But affirmations alone are hollow. You must act in alignment with them. A champion doesn't just say he is the best. He trains like the best. A visionary entrepreneur doesn't just affirm wealth. She works with the tireless energy of someone who is building an empire. Ask yourself every morning, what would the absolute best version of myself do today? How would that person think? How would they handle challenges? How would they carry themselves? Then become that person. Now, not when you feel ready. Readiness is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Repetition is the mother of skill, and it is also the mother of identity. The more you affirm your greatness, visualize your victory, and act like the person you want to be, the less it becomes an act, and the more it becomes who you are. Once success is no longer something you are chasing, but something that is integrated into your very identity. Nothing in this world can stand in your way. You control the code. You control the program. You control your reality. Point 4. Specialized knowledge. The edge of mastery. In a world drowning in information, general knowledge has become a commodity. It will make you competent, but it will never make you powerful. The currency of true success, the kind that creates legacies and commands fortunes, is specialized knowledge. The world does not lavish its greatest rewards on the jack of all trades. It reserves them for the master of one. The highest achievers, the most disruptive innovators, and the wealthiest titans all share a common trait. They have achieved an undeniable mastery in a specific domain. Hard work is not the differentiator you think it is. Legions of people work themselves to the bone every day and remain trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. Why? Because their effort is unfocused. They spread their energy thinly across many things instead of concentrating it to achieve deep expertise in one. The chasm between the ordinary and the extraordinary is bridged by mastery. The best in any field are not simply the hardest workers. They are those who have honed their skills and deepened their knowledge to a level that makes them an authority. They haven't edged out. So, what is the one thing you must master? What specific skill set or area of expertise, if you became the undisputed best at it, would make your success inevitable? This is the most critical strategic question you can ask yourself. To reach the pinnacle of your field, you cannot be a tourist. You must become a native. You must possess insights that others lack, and an understanding so profound that you become irreplaceable. This demands a ruthless, lifelong commitment to learning. You must become a voracious student of your craft. Read the dense, challenging books, not just the popular summaries. Seek out the titans of your industry, the mentors, the leaders, the innovators. Dissect their methods, reverse engineer their success, and absorb their mindset. In our age, information is abundant, but application is rare. Passive consumption of knowledge is worthless. Attending seminars and reading books without implementing what you learn is merely intellectual entertainment. The true power of specialized knowledge is unleashed only through application. You must take what you learn and immediately test it in the unforgiving arena of the real world. Experiment, fail, analyze the data from that failure. Refine your approach, go again. Repeat this cycle relentlessly until your knowledge transforms into instinct and your skill evolves into artistry. When you achieve this level of mastery, your value doesn't just increase. It multiplies exponentially. The market pays a premium for experts. Clients, customers, and employers don't seek out generalists to solve their most critical problems. They hunt for specialists who can deliver results that no one else can. Consider Elon Musk. He didn't just have a vague dream of going to space. He consumed textbooks on aerospace engineering and rocket propulsion, teaching himself the specialized knowledge required to challenge an industry dominated by governments. His mastery of the subject matter is what gave him the credibility and the capability to build SpaceX. But the secret of true masters is that they remain eternal students. Mastery is a moving target. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment you begin your decline. Industries evolve, technologies shift, and new knowledge supplants the old. The greatest in the world are fueled by a divine dissatisfaction that keeps them learning, growing, and pushing the boundaries of their own expertise. Commit to mastery. Go deep. Become the authority. Be the one who knows what others only guess at, and the world will have no choice but to reward you for it. 5. Decision. The currency of winners. A comprehensive study of thousands of individuals who experienced failure revealed a startlingly common thread: an inability to make a firm decision. Procrastination, hesitation, and the disease of analysis paralysis are the silent assassins of dreams. Opportunity does not wait for you to be certain. It arrives, presents itself, and if not seized, moves on to someone who will. Indecision is a slow-acting poison that paralyzes your will and guarantees a future of mediocrity. Every second you spend second-guessing, weighing endless options, or waiting for a sign is a second you have surrendered to inaction. The most successful people on this planet move differently. They make decisions quickly and definitively. This isn't because they are reckless. It's because they trust their judgment, their preparation, and their ability to adapt. They understand that a wrong decision is infinitely more valuable than no decision at all. Why? Because action creates data. A mistake provides a lesson. An action provides nothing but regret. Look at the trailblazers of our time. They did not wait for universal consensus. They did not conduct endless focus groups to validate their vision. They decided, they committed, and they moved on. In the mid-1990s, a young man named Jeff Bezos saw a statistic that the internet was growing at 2,300% per year. He worked a comfortable, lucrative job on Wall Street. Most people in his position would have noted the trend as interesting and gone back to their safe careers. They would have weighed the pros and cons, consulted everyone they knew, and ultimately hesitated themselves into inaction. Bezos did the opposite. He made a bold, rapid decision. He quit his job, packed his life into a car, and drove across the country to start an online bookstore out of his garage. He didn't have all the answers. He couldn't have known Amazon would become the global empire it is today. But he understood a critical principle. The cost of inaction and regret would be far higher than the cost of failure. Clarity is not something you find. It's something you create through action. You don't figure things out by thinking about them in a vacuum. You figure things out by doing them. The more decisions you make, the sharper your intuition becomes. The more you act in the face of uncertainty, the more comfortable you become with risk. Successful people don't fear making the wrong choice. They fear making no choice at all. Failure is not their enemy. Stagnation is. Think about your own life. How many opportunities have evaporated while you were thinking about it? How much progress has been sacrificed at the altar of, "I'm not ready yet"? Now, imagine the momentum you would build if you simply started making firm, committed decisions. It is time to stop outsourcing your authority. Trust your own mind. It is time to act as if you are a leader, because leaders are, above all else, decisive. They don't stall. They execute. So make the decision. Whatever goal has been lingering in the back of your mind, commit to it. Now, not tomorrow, not next week. Step forward with the confidence of someone who knows that even if they stumble, they will learn, adapt, and ultimately succeed. The world is not moved by thinkers. It is moved by deciders. It bends to the will of those who have the courage to choose a path and walk it with conviction. Be that person. Decide. Commit. Conquer. 6. Persistence. The will to endure. No great achievement has ever been realized without encountering formidable resistance. The path to success is not a manicured garden. It is a treacherous mountain climb, littered with the sharp rocks of failure, the blizzards of rejection, and the chasms of self-doubt. These obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to test your resolve. The single greatest differentiator between those who achieve their dreams and those who abandon them is persistence. It is the stubborn refusal to surrender, the iron will to get up one more time than you are knocked down. Failure is not a final verdict. It is simply a data point. It is a lesson in what doesn't work, a necessary step on the journey to what does. The history of human progress is a history of persistence. Sir James Dyson, the inventor of the revolutionary cyclonic vacuum, is a modern icon of this principle. He wasn't an overnight success. He was a testament to grinding, relentless persistence. Before he created the first working prototype, he built 5,126 failed versions. 5,126 times his idea did not work. Imagine the mental fortitude required. After the 100th failure, most would have quit. After the 1,000th, even the optimistic would have surrendered. But Dyson did not see these as failures. He saw them as 5,126 lessons on his way to the solution. He understood a profound truth. You only truly fail the moment you stop trying. This mindset is what separates the masters from the masses. During periods of immense hardship, like the Great Depression of the 1930s, this principle was demonstrated on a grand scale. While millions were paralyzed by fear and loss, a small group of individuals saw opportunity within the chaos. They were the ones who refused to be defined by their circumstances. They persisted, they adapted, they kept moving forward when everyone else stood still. And when the economy inevitably turned, they were the ones positioned to build the next generation of great fortunes. The crisis did not create them, it revealed them. It revealed their unbreakable will. The lesson is stark and unavoidable. Success belongs to the tenacious. When life throws its worst at you, you are faced with a simple binary choice: stay down or rise again, stronger and wiser for the blow. The world does not celebrate those who give up when the fight gets tough. It lionizes those who persist through the pain. The most powerful mental shift you can make is to eliminate quitting as an option. When surrender is no longer on the menu, your mind is forced to become resourceful. It will find solutions, create workarounds, and discover reserves of strength you never knew you possessed. Victory becomes the only possible outcome because you have decided to outlast every challenge. Examine the trajectory of any person you admire. You will not find a smooth, unbroken line of success. You will find a story scarred by setbacks, rejections, and moments that would have broken a weaker spirit. The difference is not in their talent or their luck. It is in their grit. It is their profound ability to treat failure not as a wall, but as a hurdle to be cleared. So ask yourself, how many of your own dreams are buried in the graveyard? It got too hard. Imagine who you would be today if you had simply kept going. You must retrain your mind to embrace the struggle. The resistance is what builds your strength. The pressure is what forms the diamond. Every time you push through a barrier you thought was your limit, you are not just getting closer to your goal. You are fundamentally changing who you are. You are becoming more resilient, more capable, more worthy of the success you seek. There will be dark days. There will be moments where your belief wavers, and the weight of the struggle feels unbearable. In those moments, you must remember this law. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. The only failure is the failure to endure. Make the commitment now. No matter the obstacle, no matter the pain, you will persist. You will act as if you cannot lose. And because quitting is not an option, success will become your destiny. 7. Mastermind, the alchemy of association. One of the most potent and often overlooked secrets to extraordinary success is this: you will become the average of the people you associate with. No one achieves greatness in a vacuum. The romanticized image of the lone genius is a myth. The most towering figures in history did not ascend in isolation. They were lifted by the intellectual and spiritual power of a carefully chosen inner circle. They understood the alchemy of the mastermind, the principle that when two or more minds come together in a spirit of perfect harmony for a definite purpose, a third invisible mind is created, possessing a power far beyond that of the individuals. Associations are either a propeller or an anchor. They are either pushing you toward your potential or dragging you down into a sea of mediocrity. Think about your own life. When you spend time with people who are driven, optimistic, and constantly striving for excellence, how do you feel? You feel inspired, energized. Your own standards are raised. Conversely, when you are surrounded by complainers, cynics, and those who have made peace with their own smallness, what happens? Your ambition withers. Your energy drains. You unconsciously begin to adopt their limiting beliefs. History provides powerful examples of this principle in action. Consider the Inklings, an informal literary group at Oxford University that included J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. These men were not just friends. They were a mastermind. They would meet to read their works in progress, aloud works that would become The Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia. They challenged each other, offered ruthless criticism, and provided unwavering support. Would these masterpieces exist in their current form without the synergy of that group? It's unlikely. The group's collective energy, intellect, and encouragement pushed each member to a level of creative genius they might never have reached alone. Your environment is not neutral. It is actively shaping you. If your circle is complacent, your own dreams will inevitably shrink to fit the small container you have placed them in. But if you intentionally align yourself with giants, you will be forced to grow to their stature. Their drive becomes your drive. Their standards become your standards. So, how do you construct your own mastermind? First, conduct an audit of your circle. Identify the people who inspire you and those who drain you. This is not about judgment. It is about strategic self-preservation. You must consciously minimize your exposure to negative influences. You don't have to be rude, but you must be ruthless in protecting your own mindset. Distance yourself from the energy vampires and the dream killers. 2. Actively seek out those you admire. Find people who are already playing the game at the level you aspire to. If you cannot connect with them directly, you can still form a virtual mastermind. Immerse yourself in their work. Read their books. Listen to their interviews. Study their biographies. Absorb their way of thinking until it becomes your own. 3. Add value first. The foundation of any powerful relationship is reciprocity. If you wish to connect with high achievers, don't approach them with your hand out. Approach them with value to offer. What can you do for them? How can you support their mission? Become known as a person who gives, supports, and elevates others. And you will naturally attract other givers into your orbit. Finally, hold yourself to a world-class standard. To attract eagles, you cannot think like a turkey. Commit to your own growth. Operate with excellence. Become the kind of person you would want in your own mastermind. Success is a team sport. It's about positioning yourself in an environment that demands your best. Choose your circle wisely, for it will ultimately determine your destiny. Surround yourself with those who fan your flames, and you will become an inferno. 8. Fear, the ultimate enemy. There is only one true enemy on your path to greatness. One adversary that is responsible for more abandoned dreams and unrealized potential than all other obstacles combined. It is not your competition. It is not your circumstances. It is fear. Fear is the great paralyzer, the silent saboteur that whispers insidious lies in your ear. You're not good enough. What if you fail? What will they think? It is a primal, powerful force designed for survival in a dangerous world. But in the context of ambition, it becomes a cage. Fear's primary function is to keep you safe within your comfort zone. But greatness, by definition, exists outside of that zone. Every significant act of creation, innovation, or leadership requires a step into the unknown, and it is at that threshold that fear stands guard. It magnifies risk, minimizes your ability, and paints a vivid, terrifying picture of all the things that could go wrong. It hijacks your imagination and uses it against you, turning your greatest creative tool into a weapon of self-destruction. To conquer fear, you must first understand its nature. Fear is not a reflection of your actual reality. It is a projection of a possible future, a future that you are creating with your own thoughts. The champions of life are not fearless. They have simply learned to act in spite of fear. They feel the same anxiety, the same doubt as everyone else, but they have trained themselves not to be governed by it. How? By mastering their focus. Think of a lion tamer. He enters a cage with a creature that could kill him in an instant. He controls the lion not with a whip, but with a simple four-legged stool. He holds the stool up, and the lion, trying to focus on all four legs at once, becomes overwhelmed and confused. It freezes. This is a powerful metaphor for controlling fear. Fear, like the lion, is a ferocious beast. If you focus on the fear itself, on its power, on the terrible things it threatens, you will be paralyzed. But if you can force your focus onto something else, you can master it. Your goal must become the four legs of that stool. You must become so intensely focused on your mission, on your why, on the next immediate step you need to take, that the fear is crowded out of your conscious mind. When fear arises, you must consciously shift your focus from the feeling of fear to the action you need to take. Fear wants you to think about the outcome. Action forces you to focus on the process. Are you afraid of making that sales call? Don't think about getting rejected. Focus only on dialing the number. Are you afraid of giving that presentation? Don't imagine the audience judging you. Focus only on the first sentence you need to say. By breaking down a fear-inducing task into its smallest possible component and focusing all your mental energy on that one action, you rob fear of its power. You starve the lion. Furthermore, you must repeatedly and intentionally do the things you fear. Courage is like a muscle. It grows stronger with use. Every time you act in the face of fear, you are teaching your nervous system that the threat was exaggerated. You are building a new reference experience. The first time is terrifying. The 10th time is manageable. The 100th time is routine. You build courage by accumulating evidence of your own capability. Your potential in life is inversely proportional to the amount of fear you are willing to tolerate. Are you willing to let a phantom emotion dictate the size of your life? Are you willing to let it be the author of your regrets? The choice is yours. Acknowledge the fear. Feel it, and then act anyway. Focus on your purpose with the intensity of a laser beam. Take the next step, then the next. Soon, you will look back and realize you have walked straight through the heart of the beast, and it was nothing but a shadow after all. Your destiny is on the other side of your fear. Go claim it.